Welcome to the program. I'm Jessica Van Vonderen. It's one of the state government's key strategies to tackle population growth in the southeast, a $4,000 boost to the first home buyers grant for those who build in regional areas. But in the first 5 months, fewer than 200 people have applied. At that rate, the government won't even come close to spending the $7 million it allocated to the scheme. But as Meg Purtell reports, it may yet work, with regional councils offering enticements too.
Feeling 451.
Every week, about 1,500 people move to southeast Queensland. The booming population is placing unprecedented pressure on housing, infrastructure and transport.
It's certainly an issue that all state governments, to lesser and greater degrees, are having to consider. Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane are probably the most stark examples.
But now the push is on to promote the rest of the state. In June, the state government introduced a $4,000 regional bonus for first homeowners who build or buy a new house. The money is in addition to the usual first homeowners grant and was devised to encourage people to move outside the southeast corner.
I don't think that it would be sufficient to force people to, or encourage people to actually buy a house, but if you were thinking of buying a house, then it might just make it easier to do so in a region rather than in the capital city.
So far, about 150 people have taken up the offer.
I think you have to look at it in terms of the suite of programs that the government is offering to people. So regions have to be seen as attractive. Do we want people to just move to any region, or do we have particular regions in mind that we would like to attract people to? What are we doing to make those regions livable?
Demographer Bernard Salt says there won't be an exodus of people moving because of the scheme, but he says it will make some difference over time.
If you look at the Victorian example, a similar scheme operates in Victoria, and it really took 2 years from a standing start for a program like this to really start to ramp up the numbers. So I think that 5 months is far too early to pass a judgment on the program as yet.
Townsville recently hosted a national conference on growth in regional Australia. Organiser Kate Charters says the area is a successful example for other regions.
Townsville has done an excellent job with a riverway development along the Ross River. It was previously a fairly barren, dry area when I saw it 10 years ago, and now it's a beautiful parkland with swimming pools and lots of community facilities.
But it's also facing challenges. Soon an extra 750 soldiers and their families will arrive at Laverick Barracks. All will need to find somewhere to live.
What we need are bigger, stronger, gutsier regional centres. We want to see a Townsville of 250,000 people, a Cairns of maybe 200,000 people over the next 20 or 30 years or so. That brings vitality, opportunity. It delivers an urban lifestyle into different parts of the country.
With such large growth also comes potential problems.
We don't want to fall in the trap of cheap housing or cheap land that isn't adequately serviced and doesn't have the infrastructure, so that we actually have communities that are healthy and vibrant rather than developing disadvantaged communities.
There are always problems associated with growth if you're growing a southeast region, or in fact if you're growing a major regional centre. There are problems associated with congestion, delivering housing, affordable housing, electricity, water, sewerage. Just because you've got population growth moving into a town does not mean that there are not problems associated with that.
One region hoping to make the most of the state government grant is Richmond in the state's northwest. The local council is offering free general rates to first homeowners for 5 years.
They'll still pay their water and sewerage, but you know, it's very hard nowadays for young ones to get started. So we thought, well, we'll carry the burden, and I'm sure the ratepayers of Ayrshire would be happy to carry the burden to get some young families back in the community.
John Wharton says while most growth is occurring along the state's coastline, there's a real need for workers inland.
The jobs are there, and some of them go from very low skills, to labourers' jobs, to higher skills. Like, we're always looking for higher skilled staff for the council. So, engineers, those sort of people, to get them out there. And it's bloody hard, real hard, actually.
But he says it's worth the move.
We built the lake in Richmond so people would come to Richmond and live there and have somewhere to go that afternoon. Take their kids down swimming or go water skiing, go fishing. All those opportunities are there, and we need to create an environment in these western communities that those people actually can have a better quality of life when they go there.